Welcome to Fix It Fast. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own fuse panel and or breaker panel for your 3rd Gen Tacoma. Let's get to work. Here's an overview of all the dimensions. Here's a close-up of the lower leg so you can see the dimensions a little better. And here's a close-up of the upper half. First, test fit your cardboard cutout. Alright, so what I did first was I made cardboard template. So I have all the numbers here listed, the dimensions and everything. The problem I ran into was my piece of metal I had wasn't quite as long down here for this little bit I wanted, but it's still long enough. It just gives me a little less wiggle room. So instead of being 1 1/4 inches like I have circled here in red, that area on the metal one I made is only a 1/2 inch. So the dimensions on this side are just a little bit different. I still went 6 inches out here, and then this is still the same 5 inches. Then I made all those measurements here on painter's tape. Then cut it out using a jigsaw. Here's what we have after cutting it. This part I just used a 1/4 inch drill to round that inside edge out, and then I cut in with the jigsaw to meet it. The mounting holes are drilled to 3/8 inch diameter. The center of the first hole is 7/16 inch from the outer edge, and the outer edge of the hole is 1/4 inch from the outer edge of the metal. But if you're following the original template, it'll be 1 inch. From the bottom edge to the center of the hole is 11/16 inch. The bottom of the hole is only a 1/2 inch from the bottom of the edge of the metal. The holes are spaced 3 inches apart, center to center. Next, I used a metal ruler to scribe a line on the inside edge of where the metal is going to be folded. That way when it folds, the metal has room to bend. I'm just using clamps to hold everything in place. To scribe the line, I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver to remove some of that material. Then, using a piece of angle iron, you're going to line everything up with where you want to make your bend, and then clamp that all down with some clamps. And then you're going to use a dead blow hammer to make your bend. The point of the angle iron is to give you a nice crisp bend. Then repeat that process on your second bend. This is what the panel looks like test fitted into the truck. I did my best to make the panel parallel with the OEM fuse panel. That way there was a nice even gap across here. Here's the finished product. I just drilled the holes for the breakers. I used the Countersink to get rid of the burrs on this side, and I kind of ran over it with a little bit of sandpaper on either side. So these are 1/4 inch holes, and then so I just drilled them out slowly, stepped up the bit sizes until I got to that 1/4 inch. Finished product, we're going to put that in the truck once we get the breakers bolted on. I went ahead and put the breakers on. I used M6 bolts, put a washer between here. So I used 10mm bolts, and then I used Nylock nuts here to help keep things from rattling loose. And this is what everything looks like after I got all my wires connected and everything bolted down. So the lower leg is attached there with the factory 10mm bolt. And then I have it attached up top here with 2 M8 bolts. And the bolts that I have are 23mm long. And then I have a washer there as well to keep the bolts from gouging into the aluminum bracket. And that's how you make your own fuse panel and or breaker panel for your 3rd Gen Tacoma. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for future content. See you on the next one.